The Irish and the potato only happened after the New World was founded, and of course the tomato becoming this beautiful sauce only happened after the New World. But that's a tangent.
Yeah, that doesn't have much to do with Sarah Palin.
It might as well have. Tomatoes have more to do with rational and coherent politics than Sarah Palin does, actually.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to A Conversation with Colin. I'm Greg, and this is my roommate, Colin. Now, sometimes Colin says crazy stuff. So every Tuesday and Thursday, I reach into my random topic pile, pull one out, toss it to Colin, we talk it out. He has no idea what's in the random conversation pile. He doesn't hear it till you do on the show. If you like that, like the video, subscribe to us here on YouTube, and for the love of God, please share this video with your friends. Let them know Colin's crazy and says funny stuff. Colin, are you ready?
Yes.
Today's topic of conversation is Sarah Palin. This one was submitted on Twitter by Wyndham83. Sarah Palin, remember her? She was a big thing.
Yeah.
Thought there was a lot of talking. Well, you start with me. Sarah Palin. Let's dial it back even further than anything else.
Okay.
When's the first time you ever really heard of Sarah Palin? You're a Republican. We've talked about that before. Link.
When have I heard of Sarah Palin? Probably like 2007.
Okay.
When did I know anything about Sarah Palin? 2 days before the Republican convention in 2008, probably.
Okay.
Because no one had any fucking idea who Sarah Palin was.
Yeah, it was weird all of a sudden, right? That, like, for me, not being dialed into the political community at all, not being dialed into the Republican Party at all, like, it was just all of a sudden out of the blue, bam, John McCain's announced a running mate, and it's this woman from Alaska. That was crazy. That was like,
it was
what?
insane. It was absolutely, let's just say, let me just start with this, Greg. Anyone who worked on John McCain's campaign should not be allowed near a fucking Republican presidential campaign ever again.
Okay.
Ever. Because that was such an amateur pick. They clearly didn't even vet her, and Sarah Palin she's embarrassing. She's embarrassing.
But why? Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of it here. Mm-hmm. So who would have been a better pick for John McCain as a running mate?
The obvious pick was Mitt Romney, but you assume that Mitt Romney said no. And you assume that other people said no, too. Because there's no fucking way that Sarah Palin was the first pick, or the second, or the third, or the fourth. You have to assume that John McCain and his people were going through lists and lists and lists of people, and people were dodging John McCain not because John McCain's a bad person. John McCain's a good politician and a good man. Moderate Republican, but because it was obvious he was going to lose. Yeah. And so, why would you want to
attach your name to this campaign?
There was no way he was going to win. There was no way he was going to win. I knew from the word go that he wasn't going to win, no matter who won the primary on the Democratic side, because Hillary Clinton's primary was quite heated.
Yeah.
That was one of the that was awesome. One of the best primaries ever.
Yeah.
But Sarah Palin is just. She's the epitome of why people think Republicans are not smart and why they think Republicans are backwoods, backwater. And just because you're from Alaska doesn't mean you're backwoods or backwater. Sure. It's really about how you carry yourself. Sarah Palin had no business being in a national spotlight at all. She was not ready, and she embarrassed us. And, I'm very open about having voted for Obama.
Yeah.
I talk about voting for Obama, and I did. I voted for Obama. The reason I ended up swinging against McCain at the end was because he picked Sarah Palin. I'm not going to fucking vote for that ticket. There's no way. She's so unprepared. She's not articulate. She's not intelligent. And what really bothers me is still to this day, we're filming this 2 days before Obama wins re-election and Romney gets elected.
Spoilers: we filmed them all at once.
And people still care about what she tweets and Facebooks and.
Well, yeah. Now she's a big star, right? Were you concerned that she had a shot at being in the primaries for this one, being in 2012, having a shot at being the president?
No, I wasn't. No, the one thing no one should ever be concerned about is Sarah Palin being president, because that's never ever in a million years going to happen. But was I concerned that she was going to get into the race? Yeah, I was concerned just because it's no, we don't want you in this. We don't want anything to do with you. You're not articulate. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because most people in this country have no idea what they're fucking talking about in the political realm. But they're not running for president.
Yeah.
Or vice president at the time. She was out of her league, and she should have known better. And the McCain people should have known better too. That was malpractice. McCain should be embarrassed that he let his team pick her. And like I said, she was clearly not vetted.
Yeah.
So you have to assume that they went really low down on the list. I mean, I would have taken almost anyone else in the almost anyone else in the Republican Party over her. There's nothing to do with anything. I'm sure she's a nice woman. I'm sure she has a very nice family. But think about the circus that surrounded it. You know? Sarah Palin gave us fucking Levi Johnston or whatever the fuck his name was, you know, who was like banging his daughter, and they had like a kid together, and you know, and then they were
banging her daughter, not his daughter. That'd be a completely different scenario.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean.
I'm just making sure we're setting the record
You know,
straight.
there's just a lot of weird stuff. I mean, even Sarah Palin's husband was part of the Alaska secession movement. That's something you learn if you vetted them for 5 minutes. You can't have a secessionist as the husband of
Possible
of the vice
president.
president. It doesn't make any sense. It's like Jefferson Davis running for vice president. It doesn't make any sense. Jefferson Davis was the president of the Confederacy, by the way.
Thank you. I was like, oh, what does that mean? Did he order a pizza?
It doesn't. Yes, he might have ordered a pizza one time. Probably not.
When was pizza invented? Or is that a different conversation for Colin?
Pizza was invented. I believe it's actually French.
Yeah, but I mean,
Italian.
like when, like it wasn't like in the Revolution, people weren't eating pizza. Right?
No, it must have been sometime after the colonization of the United States. Tomatoes are American. See, here's the interesting thing, Greg, is that tomatoes and potatoes, two things that are often associated with Europe, Ireland, and Italy, respectively, are both American. Oh. And so the Irish and the potato only happened after the New World was founded, and of course the tomato becoming this beautiful sauce only happened after the New World. But that's a tangent.
Yeah, that doesn't have much to do with Sarah Palin.
It might as well have. Tomatoes have more to do with rational and coherent politics than Sarah Palin does, actually. Sarah Palin was just what bothers me is she just set us back. You know?
Oh yeah.
McCain was going to lose anyway. So she's going to say yes, so she can get, raise her national spotlight. Mm-hmm. That debate with Joe Biden, man, was.
Can I call you Joe?
Can I call you Joe? It's like, no, you don't want to call him Joe because you want to come off as a person who knows what the fuck she's talking about. Call him Senator,
Yeah.
Show him some respect. And you know why she wanted to call him Joe?
No.
You don't know the story?
What, Joe the plumber?
No.
Couldn't say Biden?
Yeah. She kept calling him O. Biden.
No, really?
In debate prep, she kept calling him Joe O. Biden.
That's awesome.
Senator O. Biden. That is why she wanted to call him Joe. This is the woman you were dealing with. It's embarrassing for more reasons than one. You know who the first vice presidential candidate was that was a woman, Greg?
No.
In 1984, it was Geraldine Ferraro, and she was...
For the record, I was 1, so I'm allowed not to know that one.
She ran with Walter Mondale in 1984 when Reagan was going to win re-election. She was a congresswoman from New York. And she was like a legit, knowledgeable political powerhouse. She had something to add, and she debated Bush competently, H.W. Bush, and they lost. I mean, they got their clocks clean in 1984, but she was the one who broke the glass ceiling, so to speak. And it was also an obvious ploy by picking Palin was probably like, we'll get the disaffected Clinton voters that hate Barack Obama, because people assume that because Clinton was a centrist Democrat and she and Barack Obama hated each other so much, clearly still do, that they wouldn't vote for Obama, and they were wrong. Yeah. And then if we pick this woman and bring her in,
people are so stupid that they'll just be like, oh, a woman, all right.
It was absurd. It was absolutely, the Palin thing was absurd on so many levels. It's so fucking frustrating. That's why I'm so happy Romney wins or Romney loses. That's a competent ticket. Paul Ryan is a very competent man.
Yeah.
Sarah Palin.
No good.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about Sarah Palin.
All right. Well, I think we've reached the end of this conversation. Thank you, Wyndham83, for that excellent topic. If you have one, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you leave it in the comments below. Of course, if you like this conversation, like it, subscribe to us on YouTube, then please share it with your friends. Colin, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you every Tuesday and Thursday here on YouTube. That's when you can tune in and watch us do this. Until then, I hope you have a conversational day.
A lot of hair.
I wonder if we'll say that about the future.
A lot of pubic hair. Let's leave it at that.